Hello Gorillaz fans, hello YouTube, hello Internet. I'm Logan. I haven't been on YouTube for a while, but now I'm back because I wanted to make a video about Gorillaz Phase 4. I probably shouldn't really be making this video yet because there's really almost no information on Phase 4. But if there's one thing Gorillaz fans are good at, it's jumping the gun. So I'm going to talk about Phase 4. I have quite a few predictions and opinions already, but first I'll just kind of get everyone up to speed on what's happened so far in case there's anyone who's not too clear. So a couple of days ago, Jamie Hewlett, the artist behind Gorillaz, posted on his Instagram an unfinished drawing of Murdoch. As far as we knew, this is the first drawing we'd ever seen of Phase 4. What is Phase 4, for those of you who may not know? It's really simple. For every Gorillaz album, there's a whole bunch of stuff surrounding their album's release. Story elements, the website changes, concerts, live concerts, talk show appearances, music videos, obviously, any other stuff that happens. That all constitutes a phase. Phases 1 and 2 actually had DVDs come out at the end of them. Phase 3, the Plastic Beach one, did not. Shortly after he posted that Murdoch picture, Jamie posted a colored noodle picture and the colored version of the Murdoch picture that he had posted. It's almost like he's posting these pictures as he draws them, which is really cool. And he did say in replies to comments on his Instagram, yes, Gorillaz are back. Yes, I'm going to continue posting stuff. So we're probably going to see more from him pretty soon. So the first thing we're kind of going to want to do looking at these pictures is to kind of try to derive what do we think the plot can be, what do we think the tone will be, maybe behind the music or behind all the art in Phase 4. Me and a lot of others seem to think that the phase will probably be a return to a more fun tone than Phases 2 and 3, and it might be more of a return to what Phase 1 was about. The pictures are noticeably more cartoony than those of Phase 2 and 3, which was also more cartoonist than Phase 2, but these are even more cartoony than those. I've heard a couple people compare the Noodle one to something in the style of the Dragon Ball manga, which is something I kind of agree with. Noodle actually had a big bruise on her right eye during Phase 3, which is not there in the Phase 4 picture, so generally seems like a lighter tone is being taken. So what might this mean for the rest of everything that's Gorillaz? Well, for the music, I guess it's kind of obvious what that might mean. It might mean that the music is happier. Maybe it won't. The music and the videos have always kind of managed to stick well together just by pure chance. Damon and Jamie probably do whatever they want without all that much collaboration in terms of making the tone match, so chances are whatever works will work. But something that a more fun tone might mean, and this is, I'm going to spend a whole lot of this video talking about this, is that it might lead to a scaled back story component for Phase 4. Now I have a lot to say about this, but to start, I guess just kind of talk about the story in Phase 3. You might not remember, you might not know, but the story in Phase 3 wasn't good. It really wasn't. They led up to a lot of stuff. There was lead-ups in the Gorillaz book, Rise of the Ogre. This was at the end of Phase 2. They were leading into Phase 3 with things like they were hinting at who the villain would be. There were hints on the Gorillaz website and in that book that the villain would be this demon child that Murdoch had spawned during a crazy night, you know, that guy. And that he had spawned, and that this would be the villain in Phase 3. Then we get the Boogeyman. Clearly not the Demon Boy. He said not to be the Demon Boy. And we get a lot of other elements of Phase 3 that were kind of hinted that they were going to do something. Noodle was coming, Russell was coming. You had this being called the Evangelist that they had a whole contest to design. You had this online game. And a lot of that didn't come to fruition. The online game itself didn't have enough money to finish. The videos, they didn't make as many videos as they wanted. I think that Jamie Hewlett and Cass Brown, who he works with on the Gorillaz Storycast, writes all the dialogue, interview dialogue for the characters. I think that they're probably not too happy that this happened. They're probably not happy that they didn't make as much money as they wanted to make. They're probably not happy that they weren't able to finish the story like they wanted to finish. Jamie said several times in interviews that he really wanted to finish the story of Phase 3. So, what I think is going to happen in Phase 4 is that they're probably not going to want to fail at all. So they might just not have as much of a story. And honestly, I don't know if they really ever cared as much about Gorillaz having a story as a lot of the fans do, so I see them being perfectly okay with this happening. You know, I think the Gorillaz story is something that they like having, but I don't think it's something that's really essential to them. You know, Phase 1 did not actually have that much of a story until Rise of the Ogre kind of retroactively added a lot of that in. So what does less of a story mean for the music videos, which in Phase 3 were almost the main mode of how we got the story? The things in the videos I think are probably canon above all else. Well, I think it means that we will probably be seeing less story in the videos. We will probably be seeing more of the band members who, by the way, I think we're going to be seeing a lot more of all four of them together, which is very nice since we didn't see much of that in Phase 3. I think that a lot of the videos are just going to be them playing music. Just like it was in Phase 1, it's not going to be a big deal. They're still going to be very cool, but I would not be surprised if that were to happen. I'm not going to say anything set in stone here. Like I said, we have very little to work with. I'm just talking about if the tone of Phase 4 is more fun, what can we expect? It is possible that the story might be solely confined to the videos in an effort to kind of consolidate everything more, and then even then there probably won't be much story. Do I think there's going to be an online game? Yeah, I probably do. There probably will be something in some form, as there was for every single other phase. But I don't think it's going to be something that constantly updates. I don't think it's going to be something that costs money. You know, it costs as much money as it did for Phase 3 in any case, which it was probably going to be a pretty big undertaking. There was all these different parts. There was this own section that was like a platforming, this a submarine game with 2D, and there was all this stuff that it just didn't pan out well. So I don't think they're going to try to shoot so high again. So now the second thing I kind of want to talk about is how do I think Phase 4 will do compared to Phase 3? And this is going to allow me to talk about some other things in the meanwhile, such as the online component of Gorillaz. I'm going to talk about that a little more as well. So, Phase 3, like I said, did not do very well. Plastic Beach was not #1 the week it released. There was a Boyzone album, which is a band that we Americans have no idea who they are, that topped them the first week it came out. The world tour made next to no money, considering that it took a lot to pay for the band's travel and to pay for where they were going to stay. And, I mean, this band was huge. It was a huge orchestra. So we might think, oh, you know, maybe Gorillaz just isn't going to really be doing so well now, you know? Maybe it's, maybe they're not meant to be popular, you know? They performed on the Grammys once, and I guess maybe that was their peak. Here's what I think. I don't believe that. I really don't. I think that Phase 4 is going to do better than Phase 3 in terms of money. And here's why. Because I think that as time goes on, Gorillaz as a project, as what it seems to people with the animated aspect and with the characters in the story, is going to become a lot more attractive to people as time goes on, because I think that type of thing, that type of culture, and that type of people that would like that, they're growing. There's a lot more of them happening. You know, Tumblr is a huge place for Gorillaz, and people are registering on there all the time. I know that there are people just getting into Gorillaz. I see it on Tumblr, I see it on Reddit, and there are people getting into it. This fact that there are characters has never been done as well with anything else, and never been done as popularly, at least with anything else, as it has with Gorillaz. And people are going to notice that. And I think, you know, if you remember, Phase 3 did not do social media very well. They were going to do a fan club. The Gorillaz website itself was not so bad, but the Gorillaz Facebook, the Gorillaz Twitter, they were kind of awful. They set up Twitters for the individual characters, even Cyborg, but they barely tweeted. I think that's going to be back in a big, big way. I think we're going to be seeing a lot more interaction with the characters. Phil Cornwell's probably going to be getting paid a lot, again, to do a lot of Murdoch stuff, but I think we're probably going to be seeing more Tweedy, more Noodle, more Russell as well, because I think they're going to know, they're going to hire some social media experts or whatever, they're going to know that the characters are how they get this band to make money. And I think we're going to be seeing more of them on Tumblr. I think we're going to be seeing more fan interaction in general. So that's pretty much all I have to say right now. I think, I could be wrong, I think Phase 4 right now will likely be more fun, more similar to Phase 1, with a scaled-back story component from Phases 2 and 3, a better online element, and probably less story-based videos. So those are all my gun-jumping predictions and opinions that I'm going to have. I'm personally pretty much okay with all these possible changes, and I'm just looking forward to another great album and to see more of these characters. And one last thing I kind of want to say is that there are probably quite a few Gorillaz fans who got into Gorillaz after Phase 3 ended. And they're probably kind of sad that they weren't into Gorillaz when all the hubbub was going on. It was during a phase, all the fun is happening. They probably seemed really fun, right? Well, it is really fun. I'm just going to tell you guys specifically, I'm going to tell you guys that. I'm really happy for you guys because it is a total blast being around to see all this happen and to see it snowball and to see these videos come out. There's a whole lot of hype, and it doesn't matter if you're in a fandom. It doesn't matter if you're on the Tumblr tag. They don't know me. They don't know who the hell I am on Tumblr. I'm on there, but they don't know who the hell I am. But I talk to people about Gorillaz. I feel it all the same, and it's a ton of fun. So I'm really happy for you guys. So thanks for watching. I hope that some of my opinions and predictions were a little interesting to you, maybe some stuff that you hadn't thought of before, and I probably will end up making another Gorillaz video down the line. Long live Gorillaz, that's all I gotta say. Long live Gorillaz. Thanks again for watching.